and welcome to Notice Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. Assam suddenly seems to have a new bunch of filmmakers who have not only been able to make a mark for themselves by picking up prestigious awards, many of them with their debut ventures, but have infused a sense of life into the otherwise struggling Assamese film industry. These independent filmmakers have made sure they are not held back by financial constraints and have either used the crowdfunding route or self-finance to make the films of their choice in the way they desire. It is this independence and freedom that have enabled them to come up with films that have been a talking point not just in Assam and the rest of the country, but in the global film festival circuit as well. To talk about New Age Assamese cinema, the prospects and challenges, and to throw light on the possible road ahead of the Assamese film industry, I have with me today as many as 6 highly talented filmmakers who have been in the news for their work. Well, let me introduce from my extreme right. Extreme right, I have Konkon Deka. Then I have Jaiseng Duhotia. The very talented Rima Bora. Hello. On my left, Deep Chaudhary.
Hello.
Dhruba Bordaloy.
Hello.
And of course, Kenny Bosumatari of the local Kung Fu fame. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Noticed Tonight. Now the issue is, a couple of years ago, noted filmmaker Jahnu Barua had told me, when I asked him as to why, you had shifted to Bombay or Mumbai, then he told me, well, you see, the Assamese cinema is on its deathbed, so I am a professional. I had no other alternative, so I had to move to Mumbai, where possibly I can make films. That is the reason given by him. How is the situation changed today? Let me begin with you, Kenny Bosumatari.
Well, Wasbir, currently the commercial situation is in a bit of a flux.
Yeah.
Maybe a few years ago, we wouldn't have been able to say for definite, but Mission China became quite a game changer. Before, nobody thought possible that an Assamese film could make so much money.
Yeah.
And to take in a box office of 5 crores and above, that's indeed it's an encouraging sign. It's an eye-opener. Potential ase. Even if we don't all achieve it, even if we can achieve a business that helps us at least recover our production costs and a little bit of profit for the producer and for us, then it's good enough. So I feel that example at least is a good benchmark, so to speak.
No. Rima, you see, Rima Bora, you have made one film, Bokul, and now you are on the verge of making a new one, which you have named Noi. We'll talk about that, but as an opening remark, do you think Assamese cinema, that deathbed remark made by none other than Jahnu Barua, do you think the situation has changed in the last 5 to 6 years? And if so, what may be some of the reasons why the situation has changed?
Yes, it has been changing. People are coming out. Our worldview is changing.
Yeah.
Our perspective has been changing. And it will definitely going for better. And why? Because there are lots of openings and we are able to do our kind of cinema because of digital medium, because of crowdfunding platforms, and people are also opening to new cinemas.
Yes.
People are opening to new ideas.
Yes.
So there is a definitely good sign in Assamese cinema also. I would not say Assamese cinema of Assam, definitely changing for better.
Changing for better, and we all want that Assamese cinemas who have better days ahead. Konkon Deka, what is your opening remarks? Where do you see because you see 80 plus years, 1931 Alamara, then 1935 we had our first film. Within 4 years of the first real film being made in India, we had the film in Assam. The legendary Jyoti Prasad Agarwal. Now, point is, Assamese cinema is actually 80 plus years. We are in the race to complete 100 years of Assamese cinema. So, still we are talking about the struggling days. Is it an irony, really?
Yes, it's actually irony, because in every decade, different filmmakers came out, and they are facing the same problem that we are facing here only. So I think, but nowadays the whole world is changing. Even our filmmakers are also changing.
Yeah.
You can see in last 2 years, different filmmakers are coming out, and all my friends sitting here, they made 1 or 2 movies only, but they are making their marks.
They have made a mark.
So it's a change. It's a change.
So that's a very interesting opening statement which Kankan has actually made. All the people, all the 6 talented filmmakers sitting here made maybe 1 or 2 or 3 films, but with that 1 or 2, they have already made a mark for themselves. Dhruvo Bordoloi, this is a very important statement. It is not the quantity which matters, but it is the quality. So is it one of the major reasons why there was a phase, I'm not generalizing at all, I'm sure nobody can generalize, there have been fantastic Assamese movies. Now my question is, why do you think people had not been visiting the theaters whenever there is an Assamese movie? Is it fair to blame the audience alone, or do you think we have to also talk about the quality of the films? And why are you guys already making headlines? Is it because of the quality?
See, the thing is, in every decade, as Kongana said, there are good quality of films that has come out.
Yeah.
And the kind of technology change right now that we have kind of used
Yeah.
in our films, digital filmmaking, kind of digital distribution.
Yeah.
So this has helped us to at least get the eyeballs. Otherwise, if YouTube or any other digital platforms are not there, our films might not have been in the world,
Yeah.
out in the world.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, yes, the quality of films has gone up or down. I can't say that because there has been good films over the years.
Yeah.
The thing is, what we need to, in order to get our films out to the people, I think we need different kinds of help. This is not only about the quality of films. There are good quality of films over, as in all of us, I think we can vouch for it. There are good quality of films out there, but the kind of distribution and the kind of the whole setup, we need to make a mark in that area as well.
Absolutely.
Then only, yeah, we can.
I think
carry
that
forward.
is a very important statement. Now, let me turn to Joyseng Duhotia, your film Handok. Very film you have picked up some of the most important awards at the national level and even outside. Now, what is the new thing you think that you could introduce due to which your film got noticed immediately?
See, first of all, the craft, the Assamese film till now struggling with the craft, because if you notice
The craft of filmmaking.
exactly, so we're trying some universal craft. We don't know how much we have success, but we have trying to do far better than Assamese, at least Assamese the films already have done. But and one more thing that see why we make films.
Yeah.
We're not making films to survive the Assamese film industry or not for awards. Film has
Exactly. That's a very important point, Joyseng Duhotia. You are making that you make films not only for awards.
Exactly.
Not award part way amar mane. That is not the only reason why we make films.
Yeah. Film has so much deeper meaning.
Absolutely, absolutely. So awards cannot be the only reason why a filmmaker makes films. Although Deep Chaudhary, like most of you here, even your film, your first film rather, Alifa, it bagged the award for Best Debut Director at the National Film Awards in 2017. First shot and it clicked. So what is the message there?
It's a tricky question. I mean, the message is rather complicated. I tried to do a film. I tried to do a good film. A film through which I can tell stories of common people.
Yeah.
And the people whom I have been, seeing and experiencing. The people who are surrounded, in Guwahati area.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. I tried to explore their life, and which I did from a very humanistic point of view. I didn't try to be political. I mean, the film subject. I've been somewhere I've been criticized and rather choosing a subject which people usually don't want to speak about. So, but no. I did it, and people, accepted from both the communities. I'm frankly saying, both the communities, they have accepted the film and realized, I mean, what should be and what actually was happening and what was their notion regarding that community and all.
So that is very interesting. This is now all of you have made the opening remarks. Feel free to come in, even if I'm not asking a particular individual to speak. Feel free. This is an open debate now. Now you see, Kenny Basmatari. Kenny, what kind of a film clicks? You never know. You have been. You actually dropped out. You were studying in IIT. You didn't complete. You decided to become a filmmaker. Many would have thought that perhaps, here is this crazy guy who wanted to, didn't pursue his IIT course and came and wanted to make a film. Now, local kung fu. Who would have thought that such a low budget, even if it's a micro budget film, would have created ripples? I don't know how seriously you made the first film, but it clicked.
Well, we made.
What is the moral of the story?
Nowadays, I feel like I don't know anything. So I'm not really sure what the moral of the story is, but we never expected that it would go on to become so popular. We thought of making a film that would show our competence, that we as a team have the ability to make this kind of a film which has comedy, which has action. That was our thing, to make a showcase, a showreel for ourselves. The fact that it became so popular was, it was not in our intention. And after,
So were you surprised yourself that it was popular?
Definitely.
It became popular?
Definitely.
So here is Kenny very, very candidly saying that they were absolutely shocked. So there is a moral of the story there, Rima, because you never know what interests the people. People perhaps are all the time, if I can call you, all of you are actually new age filmmakers in Assam. Now, film is a universal language. Film is has an universal appeal. Yes. Now, like local kung fu, the filmmaker himself got surprised why it clicked. So you never know what clicked, but perhaps people are looking for a different kind of films because Assamese films have become too predictable in the past. Do you agree to this view?
Actually, not only Assamese film, for us cinema still today is not derived far from theatre. And from literature. For cinema, still for us is those 3x structure, beginning, middle and end, the way literature or theatre introduce us. But cinema is not that. Cinema has its own language. That is what Joy Singh was also telling in his talk, that it has a different, its own grammar, its own language. So Assamese cinema or in any language, cinema has its own understanding, its own philosophical journey. So we are making cinema in Assam or in Assamese language for me because I belong to this place. I am from Assam and I can relate and I can talk about my people and about myself. That's why I make film in Assam. And in Assamese because I am comfortable in only
exactly.
Assamese.
This is the same.
I want to add Rima's point. See, here the situation is, we just can't make films from audience point of view, what they want to see. We will make films according to our understanding of cinema.
Completely.
So people, will have to wait for the audience to understand that kind of a cinema rather. That cinema, understanding of cinema also need to be there in that society, Then only, this kind of a cinema will be, economically viable, making economically viable. And people usually think that, these are award-winning cinema. You know, there's a notion that it would be boring to go and watch these films in theaters.
Yeah.
But I would say that award-winning cinema could be entertaining one at the same time.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
those notions need to be clear. I mean, people are living with those notions. They need to be
Cinema is not just, you have to make an abstract film to get
Yeah,
an award.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not like that. It's an absolutely a myth. Now, all of you are sitting here. Dhruvo has made Duroni Nirola Poja. Then Kenny has made Local Kung Fu and Local Kung Fu 2. And you are making your a new film, Suspended Inspector Boro. And you are playing the villain. We'll all wait to see how you look like as a villain. And Konkon has, of course, made Beautiful Lies. Rima, as I've said, Bokul, and now making Noi. Jaisong Duhotia has made Handuk. And I don't know what you are working on. We'll talk about that. Deep, of course, Alifa. Apart from that, we have some fantastic filmmakers like Rajni Basumutari had made Rag, Bhaskar Hazarika has made Kotha Nodi, Utpal Barpujari has made Ishu, then Sanjeev De, 3 Smoking Barrels, and Rima Das, of course, who can not know about Rima Das today, Village Rock Stars, which have rocked the whole world, and the rest have all come today. And of course, we cannot forget Mazrati Keteki by Dr. Santana Bordoloi. And these are some fantastic films. So there is a moral, there is a big message there. Perhaps if the films have a different kind of a storytelling, if the style is different, if the stories are unique, then people will come. Konkon, do you agree to that view?
Yeah, I am totally agree with you. And as the Deep has said, we cannot make all kind of films only thinking about the audience, because we also perceive something within us, and we try to portray what we perceive, and that how we make the films, and that how we are making different kind of films in recent past. And you can see people have different kind of taste.
Yes.
Yeah, in food you can taste sweet, you can taste salt, you can taste bitter. There are different kind of taste bud in our tongue. But audience are always heading towards one sweet. Only towards sweets. So we have different kind of taste.
You are trying to change the audience's taste.
And one interesting
No,
point,
it's not
Rima
like about the we are
and
trying.
I guess Rima and me almost we address the same not kind issue, I would say, kind of. But her treatment and her understanding of that issue is completely different from my understanding of that issue. And Sanjeev, for instance, Sanjeev De, you have taken his name. He has done a fantastic film, Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
And one of his story, I mean, he has got 3 stories in that particular film. And in one particular story, he also had addressed the same, taking that same cast. But from a different point of view, his understanding is different.
Yeah.
So at the same time, we didn't know each other, when we planned these films.
Yeah. Yes.
But this is the beauty of this era. I mean, everybody is making their own films actually.
Making their own films. Now, we are talking about filmmaking, but again, Rima, for example, you are trained at the Film and Television Institute of India, and some of the persons are just absolutely untrained, and that doesn't make much of a difference. Would you agree to that? Rima, let me hear from her. You are a product of the Film and Television Institute.
He is also,
Jaiseng also. Yeah. And many of them may not be, have gone to the Film and Television Institute.
We are not, absolutely not.
Do you look at things differently, Jaiseng?
No. See, I was in editing background student.
Okay.
But I believe that to make a film, no need to go for any institute. But for learning some technical things, we need some assistant. Because now the world is changing so rapidly.
Technology and other things.
Exactly.
You need to know.
Exactly.
A lot of technology.
Exactly.
I defer to that not only because of technical understanding. The experience you go through in a film institute is completely different. It is out of words. When I was at the institute, I was born in a very small town, but I was exposed to literature, but not cinema. World cinema I was not exposed to. When I entered FTII, it was a completely new door open to me. I was completely new to world cinema, to cinema. And for now we are discussing about cinema in binaries, like award-winning films, commercial films,
Yeah.
how to this. But cinema is a philosophical journey. It transforms you. It completely changes your worldview. When you look at the master's work, not only once, but again and again in that 70 mm screen, it definitely has an impact on you. And that is what has happened to me.
We can see any films from anywhere. And
That is available, but I am talking
Exactly.
about that cinema, 70 mm screen. That is what the atmosphere, FTIs had.
Atmosphere, that is
Yes.
what it generates.
Yes.
Dhruva, I mean, you see, basically we are asking this question whether this new type of films, new genres of films that you guys have introduced, do you think that is going to change the face of Assamese cinema? Do you think that has the potential to change the face? In what way?
See, the thing is, we all are different and we are making different kind of films, right? So, at least showcasing our films, we are kind of creating our own audience. And one film, two films, three films later, this audience will get the feel of those films. And hopefully in near future, they will kind of like those films and then come to the theaters and then, the whole thing will change.
Now, Deep, every filmmaker wants to have a solid cast. Every filmmaker wants to have some top actors in their films so that, perhaps, the chances of making a box office hit perhaps becomes much more, but that is not always the case. I know that, but still I'm asking you this question. But because of lack of funds, because of fund constraints, people who are making films for the first time, debut filmmakers and so on, particularly Assamese films, they cannot afford the big names. Do you think that wheel is going to change? Do you think that is also coming in the way for some of the filmmakers? Or that is not an issue at all?
I really don't think what you have said, for Assamese cinema's point of view, scenario, because, every filmmakers sitting here who have tried their first films, with their debut films, none of them have tried, big names in Assamese industry. Everybody has, everybody just took, characters,
That
not
way,
stars.
I think that way all of you will agree that Rima Das is a fine example. Village rock stars is a fine example. These are just done with a bunch of village children who have never perhaps have even been in front of a camera ever in their life.
So yes, so casting is a very important part of cinema. So we have to understand these aspects also, not only the story. So far we are considering story. There is a story, there is some tragedy happens, conflict happens and resolution. But we can break that structure also. And that is cinema allows us.
That is, I think that has been missing out from Assamese cinema because, not only in Assamese cinema, in Indian cinema particularly. Because every character has been typecasted every time, repeatedly. I mean, if somebody had played, a police officer in his earlier film, and if it is a popular film, then next director will, try to cast him in that same role. So
absolutely.
And they are radical in that sense. I mean,
radical, all these 6 filmmakers are actually radical people themselves. They have demonstrated that in their work, although they are only 1, 2, 3 films old, but that they have radical has already been proved and that has come in handy for them because they have picked up several of the top awards already. On that note, we go for a short break. Stay on, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, you see, one of the dominant features in this country is politics, and cinema cannot stay away from the dominant theme that interests the vast majority of Indians. My question to any of the panelists, actually, Rima, are we prepared for political films? Is Assam or are the Assamese people prepared for political films? And what about the political films that the filmmakers have been making of late?
whatever I say, whatever we say is political. Whatever we make is political. Yes, we are dealing with subjects which are socio-politically or socio-economically, socio-culturally, reflecting our society.
Yeah.
Our society is a very complex society, and I always say, I born in a very, very crucial time. We have seen, like most of us has gone through very, very difficult times actually. We have seen what not. ASU movement, born of Alpha, then
Insurgency and so on. Yeah.
Everything.
90s.
90s, when I was growing up in 90s, those were the most difficult times of my, life. I still look back and realize.
So those experiences are impacting on your films.
But
as well.
I regret.
Of course.
I regret
Yes.
we couldn't make such films. I mean, in spite of and such environment, such we have faced in.
No, what do you mean you couldn't
time.
make?
No, not me. I mean,
No, why? Why do you think
how-
that the
because
filmmakers
I
couldn't
believe
make?
politically, I mean, Indian audience, particularly, I'm saying Indian audience, the tolerance level is very low. I mean, we cannot just tolerate, somebody is commenting on
because
directly.
our understanding of politics is not clear.
Not clear.
Yeah.
That's the reason. I mean,
We worship people.
yeah,
We
my
worship
next film will be a
politicians.
political film, thorough political thriller. But I'm really, thinking over it because, we just cannot take names. I mean, here it is a problem. I mean, if the cinema is, set in real time, we just can't take real name, real places. There's a lot of pressure. I mean,
But that is one kind of theory of politics. But when you fix a frame, that is your politics.
yeah.
So
Zaisai?
politics has layers, right?
Zaisai?
Yeah, see, you can say my film is total political film,
But it requires courage to make political films.
Deep is not yet seen my film.
Yeah.
My film
But
also.
Deep should promise here that he will see your films. Deep, you have to see his film.
Yeah, of course. No, I am not commenting on our time. I commented on previous time.
Previous time. No.
We couldn't make such
No,
impactful films.
No.
In the
Kenny,
90s.
I mean, why most of your films are just action films? Do you think, it makes better in the box office? Because local kung fu, you made with a budget of very small budget, but you are supposed, if the media reports, some of the reports on the web are to be believed, even there you made a little profit. Is it that is forcing you to make action films after action films? Even your new film, Suspended Inspector Boro, viewers, watch out for that. That is also a action film.
Well, the truth is, like Rimaba said, politics is everywhere. There's politics even in my comedy films. Local Kung Fu 1, Local Kung Fu 2,
Yeah.
there is politics. You watch them, and if you watch them with that mindset, you will see that there are very definite political statements, but like, I forgot who said it, if you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, otherwise they'll kill you. So that's my way of throwing out my politics by making things funny. And in Suspended Inspector Boro also, there's going to be politics, but in a non-obvious way. It's an action crime thriller. So
Right.
within the confines of that genre, whatever is there will be there.
No, Dhruvo. What has been your experience, or what do you think should be done to generate interest of audience in films of your own language? In this case, Assamese language. What should be done? What is your formula or prescription or suggestion, whatever? What would you yourself like to do to generate people's interest in Assamese films?
See, that is kind of very hard to do because I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I will tell my stories, my kind of stories, my experiences through my films. But what kind of films the audience will like and the kind of mindset they have, it's very difficult to judge the people because it's in a way, how can I say? I mean, I tell a story.
Yeah.
It's up to you to like it or not.
Not
but
like
the thing is, you have to come to the theaters to tell me, watch my film and then tell me it's working, it's not working. If you don't come to the theaters, how do you know what kind of films I make?
In the recent past, or like 5 years or 10 years ago, there are very bad films. I can say few are very bad films. So audience were experiencing very bad things. They came to the hall.
Yes, of course.
They invest 100 or 200
there's a
bucks, and
paranoia.
after
There's a
Yes,
paranoia.
and that is impacting on good films also.
Yeah, that is
it has
impacting.
its impact on the good films because they general
Paranoia,
stereotyping
yeah.
of the Assamese films.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And some,
when
you
80%
know,
of the films is
recent
kind of-
past, a lot of filmmakers have tried this, that we are Assamese, we need to come to theaters
Right.
to see
That
our films.
sentiment,
That
Assamese
sentiment.
sentiment.
Sentiment is not going to work. You have to look at it professionally.
Of course,
Never
of course.
works.
Because somebody is spending 200 bucks or 300 bucks to watch a film, they would not always come to see from Assamese
You
sentiment.
agree on this, Jai Singh?
See,
Why will people spend 200 rupees and come an average film? They would definitely expect a good film.
exactly. But the main thing is what you'll be surprised that when I was writing my film, I never concerned about my audience. I was just writing what I was feeling. I see, for me, a film is just it's a form only.
And you have to be honest
And-
with it.
Exactly.
That honesty is important.
Exactly, and any other art forms, film is just only a form or medium for me.
True.
And that's why when I was writing the film, I never concerned about my audience. I
Same with me.
See,
even.
entertainment is everywhere. I mean,
Exactly.
in painting also, in every other art form, there is of course entertainment. Otherwise, people are
Why
not
would people spend
crores
crores
on those
on
kind of art.
paintings, yeah.
So there in art films also there are art, and commercial films also there are. But the thing is that the quality of art, and to judge it, the audience need to be literate, film literate. I mean, that's where our success, because
Can I say something?
Yeah,
on this?
yeah, carry on. Please feel
So
free.
there is say that there is nothing new. Everything has been said.
Right.
So what we can do as a filmmaker, what we can do as a story writer, as a filmmaker, we can only experience it.
yeah.
We can only make the audience experience our journey. So what is our journey? Our journey is our journey.
Right.
We all are original. So whatever we will tell, it will be original if we are
Yeah, of
honest.
course, right.
And that is what I believe in. And there were filmmakers in India like Manikar, Kumar Sahani. People, their films had audience.
See,
Yeah.
this is the point which you
Wasbir,
guys, yeah.
Always this has been burdened on filmmakers, that this is to make good films is our responsibility, and to bring in
the
audience is
audience
also our responsibility.
That is not the
But
case,
I firmly believe that media, specifically electronic media, has a strong role, could play a strong role, popularizing good films. I mean, promoting and popularizing.
But bringing audience may not be your responsibility, but making good films is certainly your
Yeah,
responsibility.
that's our responsibility, and we
We're kind of going for
except we have accepted it, and but I know it should go parallelly. I mean,
But there is a feeling that this new bunch of filmmakers are very happy that the films are doing well globally. You are visiting, touring the world with your film, one or two films, and you're picking up the awards at various film festivals, some big, some small, some not so big, but they're not making any effort to screen their films in the theaters. That is also one of the allegations against the newer breed of filmmakers.
No, that's-
How do you
So
respond?
let me answer
How do
that.
you answer.
Yeah. So when I completed the film Bokul, I started the process within Assam. So I traveled with the film myself. I have screened not only in the interiors but also like places like Assam Medical College, IIT Guwahati, Guwahati University, Rabindra Bhavan, and there were audience. People had come to watch the film.
Same with me.
But it's not a social service. You have to make
No,
your
no,
money.
no,
You have to get
definitely,
your,
definitely,
you
it
have,
was not
you have
for
to, You have
free.
to get your. You have to get your.
We haven't screened the film for free.
Okay.
So we-
you
yeah, we took a
made
fee.
some charges
Yes.
for that. Yes, Dhruva, what has been your experience, Konkon? You were trying to say something.
Yeah, I released my movie in theater, but pathetically it was like not up to the mark. But it's still okay.
Which film are you talking about? Is it Beautiful Life?
Yes, it's Beautiful Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I released, the audience came, very little, few audience came, and they liked the movie, but it was not like commercial hit.
So Kenny, is there a message there? I mean, like, is the Assamese filmmakers or the Assamese film industry, they have done extremely poor as far as marketing is concerned?
I need to clarify here. There's a misconception going on that local kung fu, just because it's so popular, we've made lots of money on it.
No, I'm not saying lots of money.
No.
I didn't say that. I said
you didn't
some
say
money, little money, little profit.
No, because you have invested less. So in that regards, you have
So I
didn't
use
make
the
it that
word
back.
micro budget. That is a very small budget.
Even the first one, let me tell you how the economics actually are. In order to release a film in theatres in Assam, you need to spend a minimum of 5 to 8 lakhs.
Yeah.
Minimum, that's the minimum.
Yeah.
Our production budget was 1 lakh, but for release, you need at least 5 to 8 lakhs to release it. And in order to recover that amount, your box office has to be 17, 18 lakhs.
Yeah.
And to have a box office of 17, 18 lakhs, it means you need to be running houseful in many places, which did not happen with us the first time.
Yeah.
Now, the second film, we had housefuls and good numbers in lots of places before Bahubali chucked us out. Until then, we had a total box office of 22 lakhs.
Okay.
Which means just 11 lakhs comes to the producer's hands. Now, our budget was 28 lakhs. And out of that, only 11 lakhs came back. So, although our film is widely popular, we didn't make any money out of it. We were very lucky that we got money from crowdfunding and sponsors.
True. Now, just to get a sense, what has been your experience with crowdfunding? Who many of you have done actually crowdfunding?
And failed.
You tried and failed.
Yes.
So you didn't try at all.
No, I made my film on the
It's crowdfunding only.
So
Okay.
I would not
It's a
say
good
it is a
instance.
crowdfunding film. I always say it is the film supported by friends and well-wishers.
So you better to say self-funding.
No, it is not completely self-funding. The second film is I can say self-funding, but first film was supported by friends and well-wishers.
Okay.
I put an appeal on Facebook.
And you got
Yes.
a lot of people coming forward to help
Kenny
you.
also supported. Kenny supported, and men like Nandita Das and people like that. Not only from Assam, not only from India, from abroad also. So it was supported widely. And
So that is interesting. And Dhruva, you tried and failed. Who succeeded?
Kenny.
Kenny, you succeeded.
Yes.
Crowdfunding.
Again, that's because we had a pre-existing fan base.
Yeah.
We tried crowdfunding for local kung fu too.
Bidut Kakde was on my show. Bidut said that he appealed for crowdfunding. It didn't really click. He didn't get that much of money, the 10 lakh or something, which is the minimum. So it was sent back. But then some benefactor came suddenly from somewhere in the UAE or someplace and gave the entire 25 to 30 lakhs. That was necessary. So I wish all of you get such benefactors who come and said, oh, well, I'll pay the entire money. How much money do you want? So that will be a dream come true, isn't it?
Yeah. Everybody wants that. It's a surprise. I would love to.
You would love to. Jai Singh? But crowdfunding, people not coming forward in Assam, because we have a lot of people who are good entrepreneurs and all, but still not many people come forward for crowdfunding. It's only the normal people who come and put up little money. There is no bulk money coming in crowdfunding.
See, the idea of crowdfunding is again getting small amount of money from maximum number of people, so that the film is known to all those people and there's support.
Yeah.
But why does it not happen?
See, the thing is, no one knew Dhruvo J. Bodlo. I was nobody. So all my friends, they helped me out, no doubt. But they couldn't raise the whole amount. My amount was around 5 lakhs. So I couldn't raise that whole amount, and the whole amount went back.
You went.
Wishberry.
So I would like
Wishberry,
to
But the
share one
thing is,
experience.
she did a very good, nice thing of appealing in a Facebook.
Yes, but when I putting status update, asking for money on Facebook, there are people from Assam. They allegations sending us messages, like inbox messages asking for money. What kind of a woman she is?
So that explains that people are not aware. Hojag nahoy. That people are absolutely not aware.
No, in 2014, people are not aware.
What would you like to say? This is a very
One more
surprise
thing.
kind of a reaction.
Yeah. One more thing also, that money is not
Everything.
every time matters, মানে টকা সকলো সময়ত একো নহয়
একো নহয়
কি মানে কি যদি কোনোবা যদি মোক এতিয়া যদি 1 crore টকা দি দিয়ে বা 10 কোটি টকা দিয়ে মই ক'ব নোৱাৰো যে মই এখন ছবি কৰিব পাৰিম
আৰু ভাল ছবি কৰিব পাৰিম
exactly main thing is you have to willing or try to say something from your heart or you have to some own your philosophy
It has
you
to be
explore.
reflected. It has to your talent as a filmmaker, your creative thing has to be reflected in your work.
Exactly. আৰু মানে কি আমাৰ ভিতৰত সদায় সেই বস্তু থাকিব লাগিব যে টু বি এ ফিল্ম মেকাৰ আমি প্ৰথমতে আমাৰ কি কয় গোটেই সমাজখনক জানিব লাগিব তাৰ ওপৰত নিজৰ এটা ভিউ থাকিব লাগিব আৰু গোটেই society
Okay, that is a very interesting comment which Jaisang is making. Homage khonok janibo laibo Kenny and Deep and you as well, Dhruvo. Homage khonok janibo laibo. I mean, somewhere, do you think we are trying to make films, maybe trying to bring in story ideas from outside? We shouldn't be bothered about Bollywood, isn't it? We should be bothered about your own films, own region, own place, own story.
That's why we're here. I mean,
good films could be made only if you are inspired from reality. I mean, from your society. All these years, I mean, some crap films had been made in copy paste kind of a cinema because those films are inspired from cinema, and that process has been running and running and running. So now the time has changed. People, new bunch of filmmakers, they have realized that there is cinema in everywhere. I mean, from in your surroundings, in society. I mean, you can inspire from real life characters. So that's how new kind of cinema will evolve, and that's what is happening, I believe.
Absolutely. Now, before I go for another break, Rima, it took 55 years since the first Assamese film was made for Janu Barua to bag the Swarna Kamal for Halodia Soraya Baudhan Khai. Now, after that, it took us 30 years, 33 years maybe, 30 years, yes, not 33. After that, it took us 33 years to bag the second Swarna Kamal. What does it mean?
It means nothing. Awards are awards. It is jury's
So
reflection
you
of
dismiss
your
you dismiss the Swarna Kamal as nothing?
who am I to dismiss that?
No,
But
you said awards are nothing.
yes, awards, like we are not making films to get that award.
No,
That is not our
nobody makes films to
inspiration.
get that award. But my
He's
question
trying to
is,
say,
doesn't an award brings a recognition
It
to
does.
a particular
Even
state?
It does,
even
and
if
it
it
gives
does
an
not,
inspiration
then-
for that particular filmmaker, and it doesn't mean that within that
Even-
phase, any other good films had been made.
Yes, I agree on that.
No,
It
even
is
if
not
the film
that
does not get the award,
doesn't mean
it doesn't
the
mean
Yes,
that
of
the-
course,
yeah.
of
ইয়াৰ আপোনাৰ মেইন যিটো কাৰণ কি মানে আপোনাৰ এই যে আপোনাৰ গেপ 30
Yeah.
years
Why first time 55 বছৰ লাগিলে,
Exactly.
তাৰ পাছত 30 বছৰ লাগিলে।
আপোনাৰ এই যে 30 years যিটো গেপ একচুৱেলি মানে প্ৰব্লেমটো হ'ল যে চিনেমা ইজ চেঞ্জিং চ' ৰেপিডলি যে আজি গোটেই মানে যিটো আপোনাৰ ৱৰ্ল্ড চিনেমা যে তেওঁলোক আজি ইমান আগবাঢ়ি গুচি গ'ল অথচ আমি অসমীয়া মানুহখিনি বা ইভেন ইণ্ডিয়ান অডিয়েঞ্চে কিন্তু আজিও মানে আমাৰ কাৰণে যে সেই আপোনাৰ 70s বা 90s যে যিখিনি চিনেমা সেইখিনি আমাৰ কাৰণে চিনেমা কিন্তু আজি ৰীমা দাসে যিটো আমাৰ কৰি দেখুৱালে তাই সেই যিটো মানে গেপটো সেই গেপটো তাই ভাঙি দিলে
She tried to break that monotony.
কাৰণ আমি এতিয়াও ভাবোঁ যে আমি সেই 70s বা 90s যিখিনি ছবি সেইখিনি আচল ছবি
But yes, exactly.
মোৰ পইণ্টটো
We
এইটো
were-
হৈছে যে স্বৰ্ণকমল নোপোৱা হ'লেও ৰীমা দাসে যিটো কাম কৰিলে that's a benchmark.
Yes, of course.
স্বৰ্ণকমল পোৱাৰ কাৰণে যে তাই
No, that is the why Rima Das's film has bagged many awards already before she bagged the
national
Swarna Kamal. That means her film has been appreciated already, and not that she has come to be known only after the Swarna Kamal.
That's what I'm saying. Her film is already a cult. So whether it is Swarnakomal,
you
it
can say
is
that good film was not made in Assam
Exactly.
in past
Yeah, it's
years.
not-
You
past-
cannot say.
No.
That's what you were saying.
No, it's not that you are talking about the Swarna Kamal. So we are getting it after 30 years. So
I was trying to understand the reason why such a huge gap. That means
the
are good
award-
films not being
award
made?
thing-
Your answer is that is not the case.
The award thing is very subjective.
It is
Jury
very
members,
subjective, yes.
subjective. Every year it changes.
And if I
But
may-
one thing, Rima Das was on my talk show. Rima Das had told me that I was asking, why are you making all your films with story from Soigaon? Not only Assam, just Soigaon only, in and around Soigaon. Even a third film, which is now making.
That's her
So-
experience and
No, it's not a question of wish. What she told me was that when there is a good story right in your home, why should I look for a story outside? And I'm comfortable, I'm feeling comfort level is high. So you all agree with that?
Yes, of
Why
course.
not? Yeah, definitely. But what I wanted to say was
Yeah.
about awards. if you look at some of the national awards that have been given out sometimes every now and then an
yes,
award comes,
exactly.
"Hey, ee keneke pale?" And then you look at the jury members and then you see that the head of the jury was আমুক আমুকৰ ভাল বন্ধু একেলগে ডাইৰেকশ্যন কৰিছে ফিল্ম কৰিছে তেওঁলোকৰ সো চলো ইয়াক এৱাৰ্ড দি দিও মোৰ ভাল বন্ধু
বাহুবলীও এটা সময়ত বেষ্ট
But you always cannot say that, Kenny. Not
you cannot
Not
generalize.
with every case.
Not every
That's
case.
what I was
Because I
saying.
being
That's
a
what I'm saying. So
filmmaker,
Rima and her
I was
film is a
not
cult.
known to anybody.
So even
Yeah.
if it is
So in
not
that regard,
the
I mean-
Swarna Kamal or any other awards, her film is a good film.
Yeah.
So we have to accept
Irrespective
that.
of all the awards.
Yes, of
she
course.
got,
I mean,
it's a good
with those awards, I mean, we could easily tag those films as crafty and good films. That doesn't signify that other films are bad.
That is
You know,
the
in
jinx
fact,
we need to break.
somewhere I said that though Durrani Nirala
is the-
Plaza,
Come on, what you're saying? That's the jinx
Jinx,
you
we need to break that. This is the Swarna Kamal award movie. This is the good film, and we need to go and rush to the theater. But rest
that
are not
couldn't be
making
the-
any awards.
That wouldn't be the
but rest are
benchmark.
not-
And I mean,
yeah.
when I
That may
released
not
my
be
film-
the benchmark,
Yeah, must be
that may not be the benchmark
Yeah.
deep, but such kind of an award or recognition will certainly make people interested in going to the theater
Definitely.
to watch that
That-
kind of a movie, isn't it?
And I tried. See, for that purpose, when I released my film, I nowhere I mentioned, in promoting my film, I nowhere mentioned that it's a Swarna Kamal award-winning film. So I, let audience to come, from my promotions, whatever they know about the film and
Yeah,
seeing
that is the ideal thing to do.
Yeah. And I don't think that could be capitalized in Assam. I mean, no one would be interested to come to theater to watch a national award-winning film. That never had happened.
Jaisang,
With
what is
Janabura's
your
films
view?
also, an audience were nil in theaters. Award-winning
আপোনাক
films.
কি কয় হললে দৰ্শক আহিলে যে অসমীয়া চিনেমা উন্নতি হ'ব এইটো একদম ভুল কথা হললে অসমীয়া চিনেমা আহিলে যে মানে অসমীয়া চিনেমাৰ উন্নতি হ'ব এইটো একেবাৰে আপোনাৰ ভুল কথা আজি যদি ৰীমা দাসৰ ছবিখন যদি কোনো চাবলৈ নাহেও তেতিয়াও কিন্তু অসমীয়া চিনেমা উন্নতি হৈ গ'ল অলৰেডি and that's the
In
thing
a way, he's right.
But you are talking as if the filmmakers are a bunch of philanthropists and social workers. June cinema banabo manu nahilo ekuna amar cinema khan bhalo hoyse.
Yeah, exactly.
That is, I don't think.
I also don't agree at this point because as an artist, I want my creativity to go to the
See,
why
must
I
be
contradict
done.
that?
In a way,
See.
Joycing
Why
is
cinema hall?
Joycing is right.
Let me tell you.
So Joycing is right. That means cinema manu ahok nahok. I have made a good film, so I am
No,
happy.
what
No, no,
Joyce
no,
was
I'm
trying to
that.
say is Rima
Let
Das
me
has
tell-
made a
No, manu
good
ahok
film.
nahok. Moi এখন ভাল cinema banaiso, so I am happy. So I am not bothered. Hetu niki?
no let me say
সেইটো নহয়
যে why only cinema hall nowadays so many
Exactly.
platforms
online
are there
platforms are there, yeah.
so many platforms
See,
Even
for my
that
film,
is-
was
that
be
is
the-
why
for my
I'm-
film,
yeah.
for my film, I mean, it really didn't work in theaters. I mean, we
Even
couldn't.
more-
Just a minute, let me clear my point. We couldn't make much of it. I mean, from the
Income and all.
But we have sold our digital rights to a Mumbai firm in 20 lakh rupees. And we got 30 lakhs of, with television right in Bengal. So, there are
Other
lot
Avenues
of
are there.
avenues.
Other
I mean,
avenues.
Lot of
depending on the
avenues.
quality of your film.
আৰু এটা কথা কওঁ
For if your
Yes.
film is for global audience, so you
But
can
film
definitely get
today,
money.
one good thing. Yeah.
Huh?
number diba
No,
I would love to.
one good thing.
A
one
very important point Jaisang also raised that হললে অডিয়েন্স আহিলে অসমীয়া চিনেমা উন্নতি নহয় বা অসমীয়া যিখন ভাল চিনেমা বুলি কৈছে ভাল চিনেমা অডিয়েন্স আহিলেও সেইখন ভাল চিনেমা নাহিলেও ভাল চিনেমা
So
we have to identify what is good
this
cinema.
is we are at a very interesting stage of this debate. Now, Dhruvo, is this the message that Dorkhok, Ahok, Nahok, we will continue with our work? There are other platforms
Yes, of
to
course.
make money.
Yes.
So
Because
we are
we
not.
cannot
Is
stop
that
making
is
film.
that the thing?
Yeah.
So Dorkhok
নহয়,
it
Dorkhok
doesn't
আছে।
depend on the audience alone.
দৰ্শক ডেফিনেটলি লাগে দৰ্শক আছে প্ৰত্যেকজন
এইটো
ডিৰেক্টৰৰ কাৰণে বা প্ৰত্যেকজন চিনেমাৰ
It's all about
প্ৰত্যেকজন
taste.
কাৰণে
Of
আছে
course, we make films
Yes.
for audience. I
someone
mean,
has said that it's all about
No,
taste.
even in the other platforms people will see. No,
Yeah.
so not that they have to
Right.
come to the theater
The
to
thing
see.
is, with my film, Durrani Nirala Plaza, what I did is, I thought I won't be able to release it in theaters. I didn't have the money. So what I did, I released it on an online platform.
Yeah.
তাত মানুহে চালে তাত মানুহে এটলিষ্ট চাই ক'ৰবাৰ ইটালীৰ পৰা চাইছে কোনোবাৰ চাইছে চ' মাই ফিল্ম ৱাজ ফৰ হোৱাট আই ইণ্টেণ্ডেড for with making this film is people should know about Assam. my experiences through this film. So it helped. And so অসমৰ মানুহ চাইছে, অসমৰ মানুহ ইয়াতো চালে।
আৰু মোৰ ছবিখন একে মই এতিয়া অল অভাৰ আছাম মানে মই আপোনাৰ বহুত ঠাইত মই
স্ক্ৰিনিং কৰা হৈছে, ৰাইট?
স্ক্ৰিনিং কৰি আছোঁ মই। ইভেন ৰিচেণ্টলি ডিব্ৰুগড়ত আছে 24 তাৰিখে।
So I think there was with the
মানুহে চাই আছে, মোৰ ছবিখন মানুহে চাই আছে।
আজিও SNDT
But that whole confinement of theaters, you know,
the whole idea, people are watching the film, the whole idea that people have to come to a hall, a theater to watch the film is not the only option.
See,
you have other
there are
options
lot of other reasons also why not coming, audience in good numbers into theaters. See, because of the distribution system also. I mean, Kenny had suffered that. I have suffered that. Everybody.
My film
because I mean, your film are forcibly, make it out from the theaters because
absolutely. So at the end of the day, the message that is coming out now is that there are other platforms available for filmmakers from Assam, of course from anywhere, but particularly we're talking about the filmmakers from Assam. There are other platforms available. Theater is not the only place where people can watch the films. The people can watch the film online and different other platforms. On that note, we go for another short break. Stay on. We'll be right back and carry on this conversation. Welcome back. Now, I think we also need, since we are talking to some new age filmmakers in Assam, I must also ask you this question, Kenny. Is it not important to make a distinction between mainstream cinema and meaningful cinema? You know, meaningful cinema, I can give you two examples, like for example, Lunchbox by Piku. You know, these are solid, good examples. Now, where do you draw a line? Making good films with original content is extremely important. That's what some of you are doing right now.
I have only one criterion for judging films. I should not be bored. That's all. Whether it's a commercial film, whether it's a so-called art film or festival film, as long as I'm not bored, I'm fine. Hardcore commercial entertainers, those are also fine with me. Like if I would like to go and watch a movie right now, I'd watch the latest Mission Impossible. And then we can look at a film like Tithi, which was such a huge hit all over festivals. It's a very entertaining film, a festival hit, but a very entertaining film. We laughed a lot. And then another example is Anupam Kaushik Bora's Bornodi Bhotiai is coming up. That's going to be one of those films which I believe will cross over on both sides. It'll be a great commercial success and it'll be a great festival success as well.
Boring and enjoying is a very
subjective term.
Depends
okay,
on
entertainment could
it's all
differ
about taste, you know.
person to person. So
It's about taste.
Now, one more question. Any one of you can answer. Rima, I'll start with you. You know, now that there are good films coming up in Assam by the new filmmakers, don't you think the producers also have a responsibility of promoting? Do you think the producers also should, give proper publicity so that the films are watched by people? Do you think it's a responsibility of both the filmmaker as well as the producer?
Yes, of course. If we do not, now fortunately we have Facebook or other social media. That's how people know us. That's how we got to know me.
Yeah.
My film is not yet released. Because I have reached audience through Facebook or social media, I'm here.
Films are self-funded mostly.
Mostly.
So a producer term is kind of very obsolete
But
in a
we
way.
cannot continue like this lifelong.
Exactly.
We need
to
financer.
have
We need
producers.
financer.
I produce my film. As a producer, I want my movie to go to the theater or like any
Audience.
resource
To the audience, right?
audience.
Platforms, yeah, of course.
I want my art to be
Same
known to maximum people, as much maximum people as possible. That is my goal.
But yeah, that is true. But will it be too idealistic to talk about how we have other platforms, Manu Ahok Nahok, it's fine. But
No, it's not fine.
But
it's not fine.
No,
but
I'm
fine,
saying I'm saying no theaters. As long as people see, it's fine. Let me rephrase my thing. As long as people watch, whether they watch in theaters or on social media. Or
for
other
example,
platforms,
Netflix.
okay.
There's a Netflix
Netflix is also there.
Right.
But the point is, Kenny, big banner Hindi movie films. Now Rag was removed for Gunde. So tell me your experience. I mean, what do you think about this particular big budget, big banner Bollywood, bonanza, if I may use the word?
মুখৰ পৰা গালিহে ওলাব
It's a family kind of a social show.
Right, so I won't-
You can't.
I can't abuse.
No.
But what happens is that there's a very strong control on our halls by an lobby, by an
আমাৰ
outside lobby.
প্ৰব্লেমটো
Yeah.
হৈছে মানে কি আমি এতিয়া মানে ইণ্ডিয়ান চিনেমাৰ পৰা ওলাব পৰা নাই
এইখিনিতে I think
Indian cinema পৰা ওলাব পৰা নাই নে বলিউডৰ পৰা ওলাব পৰা নাই?
Bollywood.
Do you make a distinction or not?
Bollywood.
If I may just explain how it works. Somebody sitting somewhere else in Bangalore, let's say, he gives the big budget films to the halls that are in Assam.
Yeah.
So he will tell the theatre owners here कि ये Assamese film को हटा दो वरना जो अगली big budget film आने वाला है उसको वो हम तुझे नहीं देंगे.
Yes,
So
that's how
the
it
halls
is.
also have to earn their bread.
But don't you think that our government in the state, like that doesn't happen in Maharashtra. Marathi films will run despite any big banner Bollywood movie. Now, what is your message to the government of Assam? What has happened in the past is past. Now, what is your message to the present government in Assam? Rima, I want to have this view from everybody. Yes, Rima.
গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে ডেফিনেটলি ছাপোৰ্ট কৰিব লাগিব অসমীয়া চিনেমাক হওক বা ৰিজনৰ যিকোনো ভাষাৰ চিনেমা হওক অসমৰ চিনেমাক গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে ছাপোৰ্ট কৰিব লাগিব গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট হেজ টু ছাপোৰ্ট ফিনান্সিয়েলি ডিষ্ট্ৰিবিউশ্যনত গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট আহিব লাগিব গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে যেতিয়ালৈকে নীতিটো ৰুলছ এণ্ড ৰেগুলেশ্যন নবনায় অসমীয়া চিনেমাৰ বিষয়ে মানে যিমানেই কথা কৈ নাথাকোঁ মই যেতিয়া সৰু আছিলোঁ যে মই স্কুলত আছিলোঁ চিত্ৰ সংবাদ বুলি এখন হেৰি ওলাইছিলে পেপাৰ ওলাইছিলে মই তেতিয়াৰ পৰা পঢ়ি আহিছোঁ যে অসমত মিনি থিয়েটাৰৰ কিমান ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ আজিলৈকে মই ষ্টুডিজ হ'ল তেতিয়ালৈকে সেই একেখিনি কথাকে মানে আজিও আমি ডিছকাছ কৰি আছোঁ নাই আই এম বিং এ পাৰ্ট অফ ইট নাও
Now we are discussing.
We are discussing.
We are discussing even today.
Even today.
Same thing.
We read it earlier and we are discussing the same thing.
Imagine.
No,
So government has to take a
personally,
decision.
I total support or believe with the Maharashtrian film policy. You know,
Yeah.
it is the best policy in India. So
Because they protect the filmmakers, they protect their local film industry.
exactly, and all kind of film. It may be commercial or something.
We are mixing two things. We are here as a filmmaker, the director,
Yeah.
and that part is the producer,
No, but
the distributor.
film at the end of the
But
day,
here
you
the
at the
problem
end
is,
of the day,
Rima,
you cannot blur the distinction.
Here the problem
At the
is,
end of
I
the
mean,
day,
to
we
be
don't
one.
have a setup. I mean, right setup of producing a film.
Yeah.
So we ourselves actually produce the film.
You are
we have
yourself,
finances.
you're yourself
No,
making
I'm
the
talking
publicity.
about the
Which is-
financer
the thing is,
also.
it works like this. I mean, there are finances over here, not proper kind of producers.
It is not
So
very.
we ourselves actually produce the film. We have been financed
It is,
by
it is,
by
yeah, it is
so-called
not very
producers.
well structured.
So,
Assamese
yeah.
film industry is not
So that
very
way
well
we need to
structured.
take
I
it on
think
our stride to
I'm actually not very comfortable with the term industry, so
Right now, I don't think, since there's no business,
yes,
it cannot be called an industry, can it?
Yes.
Since there is no business, Assamese film industry.
It's fraternity.
It's a misnomer.
You
It's
can
fraternity,
vote that
yes,
it's fraternity.
it's more for
fraternity, yes.
Yeah, it's a.
And from government's role, I personally believe that yes, art and culture need to be patronized by government.
Yes.
It has
Everywhere,
to be.
I
It
know
has to be.
from
But anywhere,
patronized
Anyway,
by
yeah.
government is a
So,
very,
government-
I don't know how to accept that. Patronized by government means what?
No, I
Financially
mean,
helpful.
no, not only financially. They should, show
encourage
and
Support,
support
financial aid,
in
because
every respect.
patronizing
Because
something,
some things are not on our control.
I think I will
showing
agree.
Assamese film,
I will agree with
mandatory.
Rima. I will agree with Rima. Patronize perhaps is not a right word. You want to make your independent films,
Yes.
but you want the government to help you as far as finances are
Yes.
concerned.
And
There is no
distribution.
creative control.
So
on
here,
your
Rima,
creativity.
I am not talking on my film's terms or your film terms,
No.
because as an industry we were discussing.
No, I'm
from
talking
that
about
point
the
of
But
word
are you an
patronize.
industry?
Yes,
No,
government can make 50 halls.
Yes.
100 mini halls.
Yes.
That they
can do. That they can do.
We
That
will
is
make
welcome.
films.
They can
I
protect
think-
Assamese film timings, from
Yeah.
so that someone sitting
Achha, but
outside
let me be frank. Let me be frank. See, you are the new breed of filmmakers. I have had several eminent filmmakers from Assam on various different programs. They have been saying a different thing. They have been saying people are not coming to watch Assamese films. so Assamese film is in danger. So now you guys are saying that audience, as long as they see, is fine. Not that they have to come to the hall or a theater to see. There are many other platforms available. Now, is it that you guys have used or you guys have tried out the other platforms, whereas the traditional, conventional filmmakers of Assam have not? Is that the case?
No, I said that because of from business point of view. Not that I
See,
don't
we
like
all
or to see audience in my
Theatres.
shows in theaters.
No, but audience could be sitting in their own bedrooms and watching on your Netflix and others.
Of course, but that's not in a great number. I mean, every filmmaker likes to see his film released in theaters. That's a
the ambience,
primary thing. I mean,
and mood in the theater is
Yeah,
totally different.
totally different.
Totally different.
I said that,
It's
but
the-
How
business
do
point
you
of view.
care as a filmmaker?
No, it's a
How
idea.
do you care as a filmmaker? As long as you have the hits. Kenny, do you care as a filmmaker whether I watch your film in a theater or on my phone or on my
Yes,
laptop?
Of course,
For
I
me,
care.
it's theater.
It's
Because
theater. It's theater.
the experience you can have, and that's in theater, not in television or
we are using different
wherever.
technology. We are using 5.1 sound mixing.
Yeah.
So
we are
should
enhancing
say
different.
a better quality
Yeah,
theatre,
it's
not
exactly.
only a theatre.
It's,
So in theatres in
Oh, you
Assam,
don't even have a theater, and you are
But-
talking about better quality
We-
theater. Rima, come on.
we have to have. We should have.
we should have.
Yeah, why
See,
not?
we have
But you have the Cinepolis, you have PVR,
See, that is only in
I'm
Guwahati.
but
making
unfortunately,
What about
unfortunately,
What about
unfortunately,
What about
Assamese
Moran? So there are no film halls. I mean, there's no film
This
hall.
is
we
pathetic
have-
actually. The greater Hazo area, I personally belong from Hazo, and we don't have a theater out there in that greater vicinity. So that's really pathetic, because who will come to watch a film, and particularly Assamese film in Guwahati?
আগৰ নিচিনা গাড়ী লৈ
Yes, yes.
চিনেমা চাব অহা দিন নাই
Hey,
এতিয়া।
মই নাই।
গাড়ী লৈ গোটেই গাঁৱৰ মানুহ আহিছিল আগতে চিনেমা চাবলৈ সেই দিন নাই
That's
এতিয়া
because there's no TV, there's no other medium of entertainment. That's why they came to the hall.
আগৰ দিনৰ
আৰু মেইন থিং আমি যদি কি কয় অডিয়েন্সৰ কাৰণে ছবি বনাব লাগে
audience কাৰণে ছবি বনাব লাগে নাই না মানে
নহয়,
my question to you, Jai Singh, I have got a specific question to you. Is it enough for a filmmaker মই মানে ভাল ছবি বনাম which I am happy? Audienceৰ কাৰণে মোৰ প্ৰতি মোৰ দায়িত্ব নাই নেকি to make a society which is cinema friendly? তেনেকুৱা এটা দায়িত্ব নাই নেকি এজন ফিল্মমেকাৰ?
ডেফিনেটলি আছে 100% আছে চ' আজি আমাৰ স্পেচিয়েলি ইণ্ডিয়ান যিখিনি অডিয়েন্স তেওঁলোকক অলমষ্ট আপোনাৰ 30 to 40 years মানে আপোনাৰ বেকত ৰখা হৈছে আপুনি যদি
Exactly.
ৱৰ্ল্ড চিনেমা যদি ভিউজ যদি আপুনি চাই যদি আপুনি কম্পেয়াৰ কৰে তেওঁলোকক 30 to 40 years মানে
আমি ৰাখিছো কিছুৱে ৰাখিছো
ইণ্ডিয়ান
yeah
so-called filmmakers
We have been feeding
Yeah.
themselves same platters
We
for
are-
years and
but-
years.
Exactly.
But Dhruvo and Kenny, do you also agree that there have been Assamese films which are far ahead of their times?
Yes.
Exactly.
Far ahead of their times.
far ahead
Far ahead of
That's
their
the
times.
problem. That's the problem.
Perhaps that is the problem.
exactly
So that means our audience is lagging behind in a way. If that film is far ahead, that means the audience is
Audience
lagging behind.
So who is
And
responsible
no,
for that?
see, the thing is,
the filmmakers.
No.
exactly filmmaker
Filmmakers are responsible. If you ask me,
Yes.
exactly
so can you explain that, Jai Singh? I want to,
see main thing is that we মানে কি কয় আমি সদায় চিনেমাক এটা ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰী হিচাপে লওঁ আৰু দৰ্শকক আমি গিনিপিং নিচিনা আমি ব্যৱহাৰ কৰোঁ দেটছ দ্য প্ৰব্লেম গোটেই ইণ্ডিয়াত দৰ্শক তেওঁলোকৰ কাৰণে জাষ্ট অকল এটা পাৰ্ট অফ তেওঁলোকৰ গেম অৰ বিজনেছ দেট ইজ দ্য মেইন প্ৰব্লেম
experiment কৰি থাকে।
exactly
কোনটোৱে দৰ্শকক titillate কৰিব বা attract কৰিব।
exactly but cinema is an art
Audience কোনোদিনা নিজৰ টেষ্ট ডেভেলপ হ'বই দিয়া হোৱা নাই, because
Exactly.
they have been
So this is so that means from your response, my question is I think valid. Whether it is the responsibility of the filmmakers also to make a cinema-friendly society, where some of the responses said that filmmakers have failed. Kenny, what do you think? Deep also.
Deep, go
Deep.
first. I don't have.
No. Do you think the
Actually-
filmmakers have also been failed in their duty to some extent?
We always said that audience like this kind of a cinema. I believe that is completely wrong, because we like to make those kind of a cinema. That's why they don't have any option to watch those films. See, that's where we are lagging behind. I mean, they have not been, treated with different kind of cinema. I mean, world cinema or different kind of cinema. They are not getting that exposure where they can judge what is actually cinema, what actually is cinema.
So film literacy is very low.
Very low, very low.
Among audience, among Assamese audience, very low.
And
they
the
are not
reporting
exposed
about a
to
film,
those kind of films that we have been watching.
And interestingly, one person, Nasim,
Not
there's a
their fault.
person who took stride on his own shoulder to to roam around places and shows arrange shows of some beautiful cinemas, and he traveled to interior places of Assam, and he amazingly found some illiterate people. I mean, illiterate people. They understood those, we so-called call those films, I mean, art films.
Yeah.
They have understood those films. They have understood those small nuances of those cinema, and they like those cinema. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, you are educated or I mean, you need not to be educated or highly educated to watch those kind of
appreciate
cinema.
cinema, you don't have to be literate really. You
Yeah.
have like
You need to be cinema literate.
Cinema literate, yes.
don't go into such technicalities, literate and cinema literate. Yes.
You need to have that
you have to have
sensibility
that
in you.
sensibilities to appreciate perhaps. Rima, you have been quiet for a very long time. That means you are agreeing to everything that has been said.
Or the opposite.
Maybe. See, so I was just wondering, what is my role? My role is, I'm a filmmaker. I have to make film. Whether audience comes, audience watches it.
That's my point also.
There will be an audience for my kind of cinema or our kind of cinema. And I'm happy with that. I will continue my journey. I will make my film. I haven't thought of these aspects. Who will watch my film? Who will go to theatre hall? Who will go to this and that? But I will definitely reach the audience in my own way.
But at the same time,
That will be my own journey.
To make a good film, to come up with use techniques, to use a good sound, to perhaps use sync sounds, all these things involves technology, and all this doesn't come for free. And my question is, if people watches your film, if you make good business, then your next few ventures will be easy for you to concentrate in your work, isn't it? At the end of the day, it is commerce.
What I'm saying is I'm not concentrating on hall. I'll definitely reach to the audience. I'll definitely try to...
In a different way.
In a different way. That is what, yes.
You have to definitely try to make some money as well.
So far I know about
it's not
Jaisang. He had invested 10 lakhs in his first film.
Oh, you're exposing how much he has invested.
It's very
open
much,
secret.
Open secret.
Okay.
I don't think Jaisang has any problem disclosing this thing.
Okay.
With award money he had earned that amount and surpassed it, and I think he can plan his next cinema with that money.
But it's not happen all the time.
No, it doesn't happen. I'm saying I'm giving an example. I mean, when your intention is right. I mean, when you are making films honestly with honest effort. I think because we are not businessmen. I mean, we are artists. So
can I say
we need to make cinema from.
When you look at the current scenario of cinema of Assam, I think it is depressing. Sounds যদি আমি সিনেমা বনাব নোৱাৰিম।
No, it's
গতিকে আমি সিনেমা বনাই যাব লাগিব আৰু অডিয়েন্স ডেফিনেটলি আহিব। আহিছে যদি আহিব।
Politics.
If we have been burdened,
art form always come behind.
Now we have been burdened with these issues, then we will not be able to make cinema because we need to
think about all
to
this,
inspire
who will watch
ourselves
our
every
film?
time because we are artists. So
Please encourage the government to make few halls.
Finance also.
Finance also.
The entire fraternity is making this demand to the government.
Yes, and I think also the
and I think
TV part.
government is showing some initiatives. This government particularly.
Yeah, this government particularly.
And they have been in talks with a lot of people. To get a good policy for Assamese cinema, and I believe they'll end up making it.
Okay, we want that policy soon. Already 2.5 years have passed. Just 2.5 years left before the next elections in Assam. So I think it's high time they come up with a policy. That is the demand, your demand, and I also individually support your demand. And the government must come up with a policy sooner than later. We should have more mini halls so that people can watch the good Assamese films that are currently being made. But now we have talked enough about Assamese cinema. We want to know about your individual ventures. Kenny, tell us about Suspended Inspector Boro, your next venture.
Well, it's a crime action thriller.
Okay.
And in the lead role, we have Utkal Hazwari, who was the villain in the first local kung fu and was the hero in the second local kung fu.
Yeah.
So he is playing Suspended Inspector Boro. He's a very idealistic, will do anything to get to the truth, and an expert martial artist kind of cop. So in the he gets suspended for bashing up a gang of well-connected traffickers, and after that, he is unofficially asked by one woman SP to find a girl who has gone missing. So she was undergoing job training in some place in Guwahati, and for 4 days her phone has been switched off, and in her hostel she's not there anymore. So
Oh, you have told the whole story. That's a very interesting, very interesting. But is it fact, fiction, or half fiction? Half fact. What is it?
It's fiction inspired by fact.
Fiction inspired by fact. Viewers, watch out for Suspended Inspector Boro. When is it hitting the screens, or when are you going to release it?
Well, I sometimes think of putting out a post in public, Wikipedia page containing the list of these are the dates of Bollywood releases.
Yeah?
So now, you people who are so oversmart and keep telling us filmmakers to do this and do that, ye lo, these are your dates, tell us when to release our film.
Oh,
And if you,
That's fine.
And you will have to pay 5 lakhs if you get it wrong. If the film
I
is
know
not
you are angry, but when is the film getting released, or when are you going to complete the film?
We'll complete shooting next week, but when it will release, we can't really say. We need to look out for a phase where there are not too many big Bollywood films going on.
Yeah.
So maybe early next year.
Early
hopefully.
next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Dhruva, what are you doing now?
I'm working on next feature film, Kokaido Bindas.
Kokaido Bindas.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a fun film. It's a
Yeah,
light
name suggests.
Yes, and it's about two brothers, and who are kind of polar opposites. One is very quiet, and other is kind of impulsive. And it's a road journey from Guwahati to Tejpur and then to Sibsagar, and what happens in between. And that's how I think it's a,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, and when
We're
is it getting completed?
Mostly, we are planning for a November this year release.
I'm not using the release anymore. I'm saying, when is your film getting completed?
Hopefully,
November.
I think October this year.
October this year. And Deep?
My film is in planning stage actually. I've been researching in a subject. It will be a political thriller set in 90s, and it's actually.
So are you giving a hint there? Political thriller set in the 90s? That was the peak of
yeah, of course.
an
you're
insurgency.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not inspired. It's set with real characters and real events actually.
Real characters. Not some of the real people who are available, of course. Some of the real people.
I will not tell beyond this.
Some of the real people are also available today.
I will not tell beyond
I
this.
will not tell beyond this. Yes, Rima, what are you doing now? Noi?
Our second film is Noi, almost in the verge of completion. It's the last leg.
Yeah.
I don't know about the release, and that's it.
That's it. Noi.
Noi.
I mean, what is Noi? I mean, how do the film starts?
The film is about, I would say it is a philosophical sequel to our first film, Bokul. The film is about this fisherman who gets a dead body on his fishing net one fine day, and he left his village on rage, and he travels the state, and he meets different kind of characters, and
Yeah.
the story progresses.
Okay. Interesting.
And we find dead bodies here and there
all the time. Yeah, of course.
So it is nothing new.
Yeah, but the film will be definitely new, and I don't expect you to disclose much now. Yes, Joy Singh?
Yeah, I'm now sitting with two scripts.
2 scripts.
Yeah,
Okay.
one is a historical film, and another is it's a philosophical kind of movie. So I don't know.
So, 2 subjects, history and philosophy. Oh, wow. That will be a heady cocktail. Yes, Kankon?
Yeah, I'm also still scratching my paper. Let's see what happens. I have 2 or 3 concepts. Thriller, mainly thriller and black comedy. So
Thriller and black comedy.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. So all of you are making movies. No one is keeping quiet or sitting tight. So what does this mean, Kenny? No one is setting tight butt, despite the odds which is heavily against you guys.
Well, it means that this is about the kira in people. Some people
Kira
just have
in
the kira. Mane banaboi lagbo aru. Nobonoke thakibo nwari. Simple.
The Kira.
We know cinema only. I mean, I don't know anything else. So I don't have any option to go in another venture. So I need to make films to survive and to make films to keep on going actually.
And the thing is, what we need is some way that the minimum expenses of a film should be recovered in some way.
Yeah.
It costs a minimum 20 to 30 lakhs to make a film. Absolute minimum with decent production values and everything. So at least that money should be recoverable in some way. So that kind of an atmosphere needs to be created through government help and everything. So once we have that minimum in place, then we can think of scaling up production and other things.
Very rightly said by Kenny that kind of an atmosphere should be created where you can at least recover the minimum amount. So who is responsible in creating that environment? Is it only the responsibility of the government? Is it the responsibility of the viewers, and filmmakers and producers have no responsibility at all?
No, we all have the responsibility towards it. I think it's not like a one-man thing.
Cumulative responsibility.
Yes, it's of course. So the thing is, government needs to make certain rules so that the basic cost of production or the release or everything is in place. The viewers need to encourage us, our films.
Yeah.
They need to come to the theaters.
Yeah.
They need to buy tickets.
Okay.
So these kind of things definitely, and also filmmakers have to make good quality films.
And media could review.
Good media could
media
review.
also.
Rima?
Of course.
Everybody has the responsibility in creating that atmosphere.
Yes, and see, when we say independent, when we say our kind of cinema, then there's a conflict, responsibility of what? Getting the audience? There is a conflict in my mind. I'm not absolutely clear how to get the audience. Yes.
Okay. We'll come back to you to seek your views after some time, maybe after some, not years, after some time, Joy Singh. You are optimistic? Things will be good in the coming days?
Definitely.
Assamese cinema?
I believe.
You believe so.
Yeah.
Konkon?
Yeah, if everybody thinks in a positive way, so definitely it will
Absolutely. I think this is the most optimistic phase of Assamese cinema. Some of the talented new age filmmakers, we have just had this conversation, and they are all making films at the end of the day. We hope we'll have better future ahead for Assamese cinema. On that positive note, we don't need to have a consensus all the time, but we have discussed the issue, but we end on a positive note. On that optimism, I end this edition of Notice Tonight. I thank all my panelists for being on this program, and we hope to continue with our support for Assamese cinema. Good night and goodbye.